my channel. If you're new, my name is Celina Pereira. I love makeup and I'm from Sydney, Australia. Today's video is going to be me doing a review, first impressions and demo on the Storybook Cosmetics Burn Book Eyeshadow Palette. Now this product is not totally new. It's been around for a little while. I've had it for a little while, but I haven't got around to filming a tutorial on it until now. I used every single shade in this palette on my eyes. You will see it in the tutorial if you stick around for that. This is what the palette looks like if you have not seen it already, and obviously I will give you guys my final thoughts and some info about the palette as we go along in the video. Now before I get into this video, you guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, I'm judging you. We have a problem. Talking to you right now. Yes, you. Talking to you. If you're not subscribed and you're watching my videos, me and my claws are coming out to find you. So you better be subscribed to my channel. You also better like this video because you know it's going to be a great video. You know you're going to enjoy it anyway. So why not do a pre-liking of the video? And also be sure to leave me a comment down below on what you guys want to see next. And without further ado, if you guys want to see me do this color explosion and talk about this palette in a little bit more detail, then please keep on watching. So the palette that we're talking about today is from a brand called Storybook Cosmetics. And Storybook Cosmetics, they basically are known for making eyeshadow palettes or brushes or cosmetic products and that are based on a film or a book, like a Wizard and Warcraft product. They've done a palette which is based on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So they've done products like that before. This one happens to be on Mean Girls. This took the makeup world by storm because Mean Girls is such a signature movie. It's such a signature film. I'm such a big fan of Mean Girls. Everyone in my family knows that when it's on, like, just be prepared for me to basically recite the entire movie and every single quote in that movie because I love it so much. So this palette, the way that it comes is it comes in this beautiful pouch which has the brand's logo on it. It's kind of like a velvety velour black pouch. Then the product comes with a sleeve which just matches the actual box of the palette, and then inside that sleeve you have the actual palette. So this is how the palette comes. It literally looks like a book, and it's based on the Burn book that is from the movie. Again, if you've never watched the movie, the Burn book is basically a book where the plastics and all the Mean Girls put rumors and lies about all these people that are in the school. So when you open it up, you have all the shades and it literally is like a book. You open it up like a book. The side literally has, it looks like it's pages, even though it's not, but it does look like it's pages. And then you have inside, this is what the product looks like. It comes with a mirror, a pretty good size mirror as well. I really appreciate a mirror in a palette. All of the decorations that are all around the palette, again, match the Burn book in the movie, which matches the whole handwritten kind of scribbles, you know, even on the front of the book as well. This is the shade selection in the palette. I think personally that the shade range is great. I think it has everything that you would need for a normal look. You have your neutrals, you've got your warm tones, you've got slightly cooler tone shades. The palette has a total of 12 shades consisting of 6 mattes and 6 shimmers, so you get a really good balance there. The mattes are all the essential mattes you would need to create any kind of a look, especially if you were going more on the neutral side. Obviously you have the pink, which is Wednesday, which does give you a bit more punch to any look, and obviously a little bit more out there, but even then it's a really beautiful pink. It's not like it's a very hot pink, but you could definitely tone this down by mixing it with any of the other matte shades. The pigmentation on these shades is great and they blend out really, really nicely. She Doesn't Even Go here is slightly more powdery and dusty than the other shades, but again, I didn't really encounter any fallout. I've had no fallout underneath my eyes at all from any shade. So just by comparison, that one is slightly more powdery, but it's also very pigmented as well. So it's not a bad thing in my eyes. Anyway, I don't mind fallout as long as it's nothing crazy and as long as the product blends. If you are interested in picking up the Burn Book Mean Girls palette from Storybook Cosmetics, At the moment, all I've found is the actual Storybook Cosmetics website. So if you want to purchase products, go to storybookcosmetics.com. It retails for $55 US. There is a shipping fee to Australia. I can't remember what it is, but there is a small fee. I think it's about $15 or so. All of course in US dollars, and it arrives in Australia in approximately 10 to 14 days. Storybook Cosmetics is also available on Beauty Bay. So for all of my Aussie beauties, you can go to Beauty Bay to buy Storybook Cosmetics. I did check Beauty Bay though, and for some reason this particular palette is not available on there. I don't know if they're just out of stock at the moment. I don't know what the deal is, but you can buy their other 2 eyeshadow palettes off Beauty Bay. However, this palette is not currently available on Beauty Bay. I don't know why. But I will keep you guys updated if it does become available, and either way I will leave the links for both Beauty Bay and for storybookcosmetics.com down below. I'm first going to go ahead and apply a base, and this is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden. I'm just going to pop this all over my lid, just blend that out. And then to set that, I'm going to take my very first shade from this palette, and I'm going to go into the shade The Plastics, which is the white. And I'm just going to use a Real Techniques setting brush, which is this really small one here, which I love. And I'm just going to apply that all over the eye. The white in this palette is extremely pigmented as far as what I've seen so far. So it's great for either doing this whole situation where you're just laying down, getting ready for eyeshadow, or even if you want to use it as a signature color. Going into the first crease shade, I'm going to go into the shade Can't Sit With Us. And I'm using a Morphe M504 brush. And I'm just going to apply this straight into the crease as a bit of a transition shade. And you can see the shadows are pretty pigmented already. And this is just the first shade, of course. Continuing on, I'm going to go ahead and take my Morphe R38 brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Self-Fetch. Honestly, every single shade in this, I'm going to say it in the way that they say it in the movie. So this shade I'm going to take directly into the crease, really land socket, and go all the way from inner to outer corner. I'm really going to also focus it on this inner part of the eye. Next, I'm taking a Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Glen Coco. This is a really nice like mid-brown color, but it is a little bit more on the coolish tone. It's kind of got that like pukey kind of undertone, that mustardy kind of color. So it's really great, especially if you want to like really hollow out or contour the eye. I'm taking this a little bit further lower into the crease, and I'm really just using this just to give some definition and really just to help to hollow out that eye socket. Very much like how you would do it if you were contouring your cheekbones, but you're contouring the eye instead. Now going in to, she doesn't even go here, and I'm using an M412 brush. I love that one. And basically with this, I'm taking this in the outer corner of the eye predominantly, just to give a little bit of just depth just in that part of the eye. And it's also going to help to give us a bit of a transition when we go ahead and when we do the green as well. And obviously with the excess, I do want to run that into the crease as well, because I obviously want it to marry up, and I want all the shades to kind of go together, but I'm not taking any additional product into the crease, just whatever's on the brush, and obviously just blending it with what's on the outer corner. I haven't gone in with any more products. That shade, She Doesn't Even Go Here, has really carried all the way from down here all the way up through the crease, which is awesome. Alright, now I want to go in and do the pink on this inner corner. So I'm going to take, this is a Morphe M562 brush. I usually use this brush when I'm doing like a cut crease, but this is also great when you're doing kind of like really detailed work. So that's obviously why I use it normally for cut creases. So I'm going to go into the shade On Wednesdays We Wear Pink. The shade actually just called Wednesday, but you know. On Wednesdays We Wear Pink. For me, it's On Wednesdays We Wear Black. Not every day I wear black, so every day we wear black. Right in that inner corner. Almost kind of using it as like a nose contour in this region here, so it's going all the way to that area. And then I'm just blending it a little bit down and into the crease. Alright, now it's time to go on to the lid color. And for those of you that know, I'm a massive fan of green shades, so I'm going to go into the shade here, which is this green, and it's called Gruel, a mix between great and cool. It's an M170-8 brush. So I'm just going to take that, I've spritzed it with a little bit of setting spray. This is a bit of a different technique, and this will work for some eye shapes, but not all eye shapes. Like I've got a lot of excess skin on my eyelids, so what happens is that as soon as if I put anything on the lid, as soon as I open up my eyes, I get transferred to this top part of my crease up here, which is not what I want. But I apply the shimmer all over the lid, but I keep it really low, so I don't actually bring it to where my crease would be, because that's when I get the transfer. So literally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply it close to the lash line, and like look how pigmented that shade is. I like this brush because this brush is like the perfect size for this. I don't go further than basically like the width of this brush. That's as far up as I go. Slightly blend that. But this is a great way to do like a shimmer on the lid where it looks like a cut crease with your eyes open, but you're not actually doing a cut crease. It still makes your eyes look large. It doesn't close your eyes in, but you're not going to get that transfer issue. So I think this is a really cool technique. She doesn't even go here, and the same brush. And I'm just going to go back into the outer corner just to help intensify just a little bit. Again, going back with my M433, I'm going to go into Glen Coco and You Can't Sit With Us. And I'm just going to use those just to blend out a little bit more of that outer corner. And Morphe G19 brush. It's just a really small kind of pencil-y brush. I'm going to take Is Butter a Carb on that brush, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner, and then I'm just going to use the same brush and just going to dust it off on my hand, and I'm going to go into the shade Regina George and apply that as my brow bone highlight. Okay, now to work on the lower lash line, I'm literally going to take one brush and one brush only and do the whole lower lash line with this brush. I'm first going to go ahead and take the shade It's October 3rd Morphe M431 brush. And I'm just going to apply this just onto the outer part of the eye. And I'm applying this to kind of like the outer third of the eye. And when I've got less product on my brush, I'm just going to very lightly flick this up to create almost like a wing with my bottom shadow. And I'm going to blend this out so it's not going to look so harsh, so don't worry. And going into the shade, I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. Cool mom. And I'm going to apply this all over the lower lash line. And I'm taking this from the inner to outer corner. And I'm going to go over October 3rd with this as well. Just tie it all in together. And then last but not least, again dusting off the excess, I'm going to go into the shade Mouse, the inner part of that lower lash line. So I'm kind of with this, I'm taking it just below where I put my inner corner highlight. So it's going to almost create like that new inner corner effect, again, without needing to use liner and be really precise. Now that I've got those laid down, I'm going to go back in with my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm just going to take You Can't Sit With Us, So Fetch, and Glen Coco, and I'm going to use a mix of those at different times. And I'm basically just going to run all along my lower lash line just to help to blend this out, especially, of course, up here where this flick is. I'm really going to go to town and really blend this out. Once I'm happy with the way that looks, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a thin coat of mascara. Now I wanted my lower lashes to look pretty chunky in this look, so I did go in with a couple of coats, and I think it looks really cool. And this is what they look like. So y'all can see, they're really, really pretty. And I'm just going to pop those on. Alright you guys, that is it for this look. I really hope that you enjoyed it. To finish off this look, I just went ahead and applied a gloss, and I used the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. I love this palette. My final verdict on this is that I think this is definitely an amazing palette. I think this is great for either yourself or even for a gift. This is great for someone who loves Mean Girls and who loves the movie. I highly, highly, highly recommend this palette. The shades are absolutely gorgeous. I think that there's a really great range for people that like both neutrals or more out there kind of shades. You can make this palette work for any type of makeup that you like. Of course, I used every single shade that's in this palette on my eyes because I wanted to show you guys how you can incorporate these shades and how you can combine them together. And I think that they are very, very, very cohesive. I think that there's not one shadow in here that isn't in its right place. I think that everything works really, really beautifully together, has a great range of all shades that you would need to create any kind of a look. And then obviously packaging wise, this is such an adorable palette. The fact that, you know, it looks like a book on your shelf, it looks like the burn book. Alright guys, now if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and be sure to leave a comment down below on what you guys want to see next. Let me know your thoughts on this video, if you liked it, if you didn't. You can also turn my notifications on by ringing the bell that is down below. That will give you a notification every time I upload a new video so you can watch it first. Also guys, be sure to follow me on my other social medias. I am on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook and Pinterest. That all is Celina J. Pereira. Once again, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys. Mwah! Which is the burn book. Oh, ow.